So this then was the conclusion that, well, at that time it was a hypothesis that children in groups can self-instruct themselves to use a computer and the internet. The question is under what circumstances and what kind of children. So at this point, the important question was the English language. And people said, even if what you are saying is correct, it's really unfair to confront the children with a foreign language and then expect that they will do, understand it on their own. So then I said, well, in that case, let me look for a null, what we call a null result, that I'll put a computer where children don't know any English, and we will find that they are unable to do anything, which is what I did next. I took the experiment out to northeastern India, to a little village called Madantusi. Now, Madantusi, because of the reasons I told you earlier, had never had an English teacher at all, because nobody wanted to go to Madantusi. So the children didn't know any English. So I installed a computer in Madantusi in June of 2000. It's a sheep rearing community, rather poor and quite backward. The children instantly started crowding around the computer. The adults showed no interest, the adult men particularly. The women sat at a distance under trees just to watch that the children were safe. I came back after 3 months. Wait, since you want to understand the language, when I went back after 3 months, I found this 8-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl, and they were playing some kind of a game on the computer. And as soon as they saw me, what they were saying here, they said, we want a faster processor and a better mouse. So I was rather interested. I mean, I was rather astounded, actually. So I asked them, how did you know all of this? And they gave a very obvious answer, an answer which to designers like yourselves is an incredible answer that you really should know, which is that they said, you gave us a machine which can only be operated in English. So in order to operate it, we taught ourselves the language. Now, why is this important? Because this is children's way of looking at a problem. An adult in the same circumstance will say, you gave us a machine which works in a foreign language, so we cannot use it. But children don't look at it that way. So I think it's very important for instruction and game designers not to overteach. They don't want to be taught. If it's intrinsically interesting, they'll do whatever it takes to get there. And the challenge is what makes it more interesting for them and not less. So this showed us that language was not a barrier. In fact, they may be able to teach themselves a language if they really wanted to. By this time, I started getting funding. I was publishing these results, and the then president of the World Bank, Mr. Wolfenson, was in Delhi for something. He had read about the experiment, so he came there, and he came to Kalkaji. And he said, I don't want to hear an explanation from you, but I want to see for myself. So I simply pointed the slum out to him and said, it's over there. And he walked in there. I still don't know till today what happened. He came back after about 20 minutes, and he said, what do you want to do next? So I said, I need to statistically verify whether the results I've got in those 3 experiments are universal or they're not. And for that, there's a whole sort of research design that I had, which involved doing it about 23 or 24 times in different locations and all of that. I told him all that. It worked, and I got some money. So it took me 5 years to do this experiment. It should take you about 4 minutes to see it. We started up in the Himalayas. This is at 19,000 feet, very, very cold. It goes down to minus 40, minus 50 degrees, and a cold desert. I need to explain the structure of the experiment. I had to test for two things. India is a great place to do this experiment because India has all the diversity, the ethnic, cultural, any kind of even genetic diversity that the entire world has. So if you look at India from top to bottom, up at the north is where the Central Asian invaders came in from. So it's mostly the Arabic influence over there. The bottom never got touched by anybody. It's still Sanskrit, which was how it always was. Towards the west came the Persians and the Greeks and the Romans. And to the east came Genghis Khan and the Chinese. So you have all of that represented there. You have all the socio-economic diversity from the very rich to the very poor. And you have, 17 languages, etc., etc. The other thing I needed to check was what is the engineering that I need to put a regular PC outdoors in the middle of nowhere without air conditioning. For that, I needed to test an engineering design at different climates. And again, India was very good because we had all the climates, from the very cold to the very hot to the very wet to the very dry. So I tried, so that's how these places were selected.